This is the chair I'm going to make. It's Elvis Presley's Jungle Room chair from Graceland. And this is the wood I use. It's balsa and craft sticks. Then I carved it with a craft knife, used 3 different kinds of sandpaper to sand with. And from there, I glued everything together with tacky glue and used house paint with primer in it to prime it. And then the first coat was orange. And then I used Mod Podge for the glaze and added burnt umber, burnt sienna, and black. And then from there, after everything was glazed and the wood was the proper color, I upholstered the seat and back with it with this little stuffed animal that was cut apart. And then I went to Joann's because I wasn't sure if this was going to be enough or the right kind, and got this fabric, but I ended up using this fabric. So this was my what I used for the seat, 3 pieces cut to the shape, and now you can see how I make the chair.
I had a better idea. I decided instead of laminating the pieces, I would just use 2 pieces of wood off of this wood and then laminate these and do the same thing. I took this and drew that onto here, so now I'm just going to cut the template out, and then I'll draw the template onto over here, down here. So you can see that I'll just cut in here, maybe not as deep on this side, just go like this around here like that. Once I'm done, I'll trace that onto here, and then I'll laminate those pieces, and this is the bottom, this is the top. I got all the pieces cut out on this side, so now I'm just going to trace this piece using this as a template since I'm going to glue them together. Oops, I should move that. No, I guess it's okay. And I'm going to carve a little closer on that side, get this all in there. So the 2 pieces are ready to get glued. You can see that I made them pretty close to being identical. Remember, I had to hand cut all this out. So after I glue this together, I will then carve whatever's missing using tacky glue, because it really does work quite well and it sets up pretty fast. Getting farther along, look, I got all this dug out here. You can see I'm following this. So I just have a little bit more to do. I'm also sanding. I tore these little tiny pieces small enough to get in here. I just want to make it neater. I got most of this carved out. I'm still working on sanding the details, but it's pretty good. I noticed the balsa is much more difficult to sand than the craft sticks, which I don't know what the difference in the wood is, but this is easier to sand. I carved this out. These are 4 craft sticks put together and glued, and I used the carving knives to carve like all the details here and to make the hand more visible. I got the legs together with the arms. I glued it, still drawing. So they've been carved out, both of them. I assembled the chair. So here's the picture. Here's the chair. See it like that. Here it is, standing here. I started painting it. You can see it's orange, and this is how you start the base color when you want to do wood that's not really wood. Well, it's balsa, but it's not real dark wood, so you couldn't stain it and it would come out a super dark wood, not all streaky, because the balsa wouldn't be, like it would be all even. So you paint it orange. I was a faux finisher for like a bunch of years, 20 something years. So I would paint walls in restaurants, and they'd walk in and they'd be bright orange like this, and then they'd say, "What happened?" And I was like, "Don't worry, I have to start the process of actual color combinations." So I have burnt sienna, burnt umber, and black, and then some Mod Podge, but you can use like a glaze. I don't have any glaze with me. So here's your glaze. Grab a color and just sort of bring it to the side. So I should use a bigger container. I just use whatever I have on hand, and then just start working it. Now you can see the orange coming through. You want that to happen, especially on the first go around, because that's what's going to push the colors up. The orange like really makes it glow when you go to varnish it at the end. And I'll take black and go in all the crevices. So I'm not going to try to cover this in one go. It won't happen. And if you did, it just wouldn't look right. So I'm using the glaze too to move it around and to get you know, various colors coming through. And I'll put a little black in there too. Makes it more interesting. This is a really dark wood that he has on this, so that's why I'm using all these 3 colors. Now if I want a light color wood, if I'm finishing it, I'd go like a pale yellow for my base coat, not the orange. So I'm coming all around here. Now I had painted this earlier and sanded it, so to get some of the higher points off, I'll sand it again, and then, you know, you go back and do the same thing. You can see how it starts to, now see how I already have the orange underneath there. You can see the orange coming through. That'll pop it up again, and I put a little black. Because there's already one coat on here, you can just see. Now see the richness of the difference between this side and this side. It starts to become richer, and because it's not done in one coat, the orange is going to pop all the colors out. Now I kind of want some of the orange to show through, like not so it's orange but that it's glowing through the colors. So I got the first coat on the front. You can see that it's all coated all around. It's still drying, but the orange is still popping through, and that's really, as I mentioned before, kind of a very important process. I'll let it dry, and then I'll start again painting.
I just wanted to go over the whole upholstering part of the chair. I mentioned using foam core. I used 3 pieces of that to stack it there, and used this stuffed animal with the back of its head and a little bit of the fabric from Joann's. So there were some issues with it. I had to hot glue the whole thing because I couldn't get the right fabric glue to attach. The backing was like a real polyester kind of situation, but I'm neither an upholsterer or a wood carver or a woodworker. I'm just an artist that wanted to try to do this project. The project's completed. Just wanted to bring it closer to you, show you some of the details, the colors and the carving, and bring it next to Elvis. This is an original painting I did of him, but I had it shrunk with my Cricut, and then the Cricut, I was able to take it to my G-Clay printer. The printer then printed it, and I brought it to Cricut. Cricut cut it out, and then I framed it in this little blue frame. So I'd like to go forward and do more with the jungle room at Graceland, maybe making the second chair. There's a bar set, there's a table that goes with this, and other fun features. So like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks.